Hello, everyone. This is Scott with Canoe Nation here. I'm here because it's really exciting. We got 172 signatures now. 172 from 130 some yesterday. Isn't that awesome, eh? We keep continually growing, which is awesome. And I know it might not sound like much, but trying to get 250 signatures minimum, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. You're asking people to become founding members of something they haven't heard of yet. And so, with everything going on, we're doing our best to inform people and get them moving and allow them to make that decision of whether they want to join, help, or participate, or just simply sign it to help change Canada, because it will change Canada as a nation. As a First Nations, so the Constitution isn't here for Canada. How will it change it? Is quite simple. If First Nations have their own nation for a change, they have their own say. It gives people an option on where to go, where they want to raise their families, and actually be governed by a constitution for an change instead of by a corporation. We've been subjects to this crown for too long, and we're never given a choice. And that's what we're offering here, is a choice to make something better for yourself, your neighbors, your home. Although you might have to move to make your home better, but that's okay. It's not the first time that as First Nations, or just people that are born in Canada, are not uncommon to knowing to move, right? We know change. We don't like a lot of change. Don't get me wrong. That's kind of a more of a Canadian theme than anything. Is hey, we don't want a lot of change, but that's okay. So I found out that there was other nations that did create a new nation, but it was by corporation. It was in it was the Mohawk tribe that had a few nations break off. I don't know any much more details, but the bright side is it is very, very possible. I've had my doubters. I've had people say, "Oh no, it's not going to work." Heck, I even said that at first, right? When my elder Joshua Lennings came to me and says, "Scott, this is this, right?" And I'm like, "Nope, not going to work." He's like, "Why?" I said, "It just isn't, right?" And so my curiosity got the better of me, and I truly believe in this. This is the way. And I mean, me being a skeptic at first and now leading, that's huge, right? And I truly believe that we got this, and I think it's awesome, right? Without us coming together is and not working together, this won't happen. But we are coming together, right? 172 might not sound like a lot, but watch. Over the next week here, it'll just go boom and explode. I had one guy like, "Oh, well, I don't know, we'll reach 5,000 signatures." Of course we will. Absolutely we will. Why? Because everyone's been sharing the heck out of it. Out of that hundred and some people. Now, when we move on in the next couple days, we'll have more and more people sharing it every day, because they want this. They want a new home. They want a place for their grandchildren to grow up on. They want somewhere secure. There's no such thing as ever safe, no matter where you're at, eh? But I would say more secure, a place to not have to worry as much as you do down here. Food is abundant up there, and we'll be mass producing food as well with greenhouses, which I'm happy to announce. Um, yeah, and then with water transports, we can get people from Stony Rapids to where we're going, which is nice. There's lots of partnerships that we'll make to help a lot of people in the north. I mean, $30 for a gallon of milk, if we could bring that down to $5, or I think it's like $10 to $12 for a head of lettuce, and just one head, like the romaine. and it's usually a little brown, I'm told, by the time it gets up there. So if we can mass produce food in certain ways, I think that would make it huge for people. And we don't need, and as long as we have more exporting than importing, then we'll do very, very well as a nation with 3 million acres. That's including water rights as well. So, and me being Cree, this is on Treaty 8, just so everyone's aware. However, if anyone's wondering if the treaties apply, they don't. As much as I really don't want them to anyways, to be honest with you. As much as I want to say, oh, I want them to, but the reality is I don't. And the reality is we will make new treaties. Or I should say accords. Because the treaties were never followed by the federal government or provincial. I mean, you look at where we're going. A good example, during World War II, they removed Cree community under the War Measures Act. And then they sat there and mined the heck out of the uranium, and then now the whole region's pretty much been abandoned for 40 years. So we're going to go reclaim our heritage land. I don't think it's unreasonable, thanks to Bill C-15 Indigenous Act. I think that's pretty awesome. And it allows us to reconnect with our roots for a lot of our people that have been displaced. When they removed that community, dozens of people were killed in the process. Our ancestors lie in the ground there. It's just, we have history. That's our historical land all across there. Actually, technically both sides of Lake Athabasca, but we're just going for the north for now because we need the numbers before we can try for the south. But first, we'll do the north. But first, we need the nation. And how we get the nation is simple. You guys sign the Constitution. Anyone who was born in Canada can sign the Constitution, or married to a Canadian is the same thing, or was here before the age of 15. So I've had a lot of people asking me about the Constitution. We don't always have to agree about every little thing on it, but it's meant to protect for future generations. And it's not so much for today or tomorrow, but it's more or less for generations, because in 2 generations, they won't remember anything that's happened here today. They won't remember why you and me fought so hard to be able to stand up. We went to rallies, and why we are heading north to rebuild, and why we want a future for our children where we're not super heavily vaxing them and shoving them in a little classroom where they can't learn anything. I mean, so, in all honesty, it's cruel. I mean, these poor little kids with having to wear the masks, or the face shields, or I mean, that's child abuse. I mean, if I would have done that to my kids 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I would have lost them. That's child abuse. But now it's okay because there's... I'm not getting into that too much, but what I want to try to get into is that we need real change. And you can help us make that change as a people. And I consider anyone born in Canada as one people. I know we don't always look like, and we have sometimes different beliefs, but that's kind of what makes us good, somewhat. Now, if we can all come together with the idea that we can come together as one people, then I think we'll do very well. We'll prosper, we'll have peace for maybe a short while, and we'll always negotiate peace accords, eh? I would rather do trade and be like Switzerland than ever have to worry about anything to do with the other way. Either way, we have a lot of places to go. This area has thousands of kilometers of gravel roads that lead to lakes, to areas, because at one point, like I said, they used to mine the area out, so that comes in handy. So we have lots of room for expansion. We could easily hold 2 million people in the area and feed them with wildlife alone, but we'd prefer not to. Um, and that would be sustaining for about 10 years. So this is why we're doing greenhouses and a lot of other things using aquaponics and allowing for us to be able to provide for our people, have transport for selling and trading goods. I mean, in all honesty, if we could trade, much better, right? They could get parts and supplies and we trade them for food. Perfect, right? And farming is going to change. It's not going to be the old tractor and plow anymore, although some might be a little bit, but the majority will be done in aquaponic greenhouses. And this will change how we do a lot of stuff and how we produce food for the future. And I mean, there should be no reason in our current society that should anyone be homeless or hungry. But it's greed, is what it is. Now, I'm not preaching for socialism or anything like that. Our system is still very capitalistic. Someone can get ahead by their own merit, but they actually have a real chance to get ahead, not spend 40 years paying a mortgage and then your kid has to pay it for the next 20 years after, right? No, it's set up so that way, yeah, you have to pay for things, but you could pay off your house in 2-3 years, it depending on how much you're making an hour and how many if you're working full-time or part-time. So this gives you a huge part, and I know from the bottom of my heart that we got this. We're going to make change, ladies and gentlemen. We, as a people, are making this change. And you, the listener, can help. Don't just sign the Constitution. Or if you don't want to sign it, share the heck out of it. Either way, share the heck out of it. If you can sign it, that's awesome too. See, and make sure that when you sign it, under comments, that you have the e-signature part. Otherwise, we can't use it. Just so you're aware, I've had a few people where they'll make the comments go through all that, and then they skip the e-signature part where you sign it. And so that's huge. Either way, I love what we're doing. Canoe Nation is going to be amazing. And this is something that, I mean, we've have professionals galore signing up for medical, construction, chefs, to everything, even farmers. Yeah, farmers, truck drivers, transport specialists, everything, administrators. People aren't stupid. They know what's going on around us. They know that this system's falling. And we figure we maybe have a year, if we're blessed, 2, before the entire system collapses. And when it collapses, they're just going to shut everything off. You won't be able to buy food. You won't be able to do anything. And so hopefully you got stuff stocked for 6 months to a year. And hopefully you don't have to fight for food. But the reality is you probably are going to, if you are not in an area where you can get, like in Canoe Nation. Now, how we won't be affected by their system is that there's hydro dams up there. So they can't shut our power off. 2, all our currency system is internal. So on our own servers, so they can't shut that down. It won't be connected to the external. We'll still have outside internet, but it won't be the same. So we've went through a lot of work, a lot of planning, and a lot of development to make a future for you, your family, your children, and their children, and many future generations. This Constitution, there was a lot of work that went into this. And where you may not agree with some stuff that's traditional, it's traditional and the British had no right to take it away. And there's other parts that, how the councils run, everything like that, where everyone's elected in to pair the Grand Council, to oversee the other councils, to keep corruption out. There's lots of great things that we've thought of how to keep us going for many, many generations. I love what I do. And I'm hoping you'll come with us and love it too. Be part of something great. Have it so that way when you at least sign this Constitution, you're founding member. So if you change your mind and you want to go up north a year down the road and there's 100,000 applications ahead of you, you get put at the top of the list underneath all the other founding members that are waiting to go. This is huge. Help us create a massive, beautiful place to call home. Not just for us, for you and everyone else. Thank you very much for your time. God bless, and may the Creator be with you.